Hey everybody, it is late at night and I am Norman. Tonight's review is going to be interesting. We're going to be looking at a watch that is exactly like a watch that I personally own, just a different case colorway. So we're going to be looking at my father-in-law's vintage gold-toned 35mm movado museum. He lent me this watch because the strap on it isn't quite long enough for him. He likes to wear watches loose on the wrist and he has larger wrists. But this is going to be a challenge. Let me explain. So my father-in-law actually has the box, and I'm not sure exactly when he got this watch, but he got it new. I'm guessing in the 80s or 90s, and we have the movado dot there because they put that everywhere. And this is a strange box. When the watch is in it, it does not even remotely close at all. So I'm not sure where these booklets were when he received the watch. Maybe they were outside of this box or something. He bought it on base, because he buys lots of stuff there because it's cheaper. I think they have really amazing deals there because I believe my brother-in-law and my mother-in-law, when she was alive, she bought him a Tag Heuer and I think she got a movado and paid basically the price for one of them, I think, if I remember right. And here we have the operating manual for all kinds of different watches. But yeah, when this watch is in here, yeah, not even close. And here is the watch itself. As you can see, it has rarely been worn. The crystal is nearly spotless, and it's mineral, but I would expect to see some scratches on here if he has been wearing it a bunch. This strap is brand new. It's just an embossed alligator. And we have just a standard buckle here, not a movado buckle. Now the challenge that I'm going to have in finding a new strap for him is this one is an 18 long. So this is already a really long strap. In fact, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do a proper wrist shot. We'll see how loose it is on the tightest hole here, which is probably what I'm going to have to use. But yeah, this watch is identical to the one that I own, except that it's gold toned. The hands and the dot are also gold in color, as opposed to my watch. And the crystal on mine looks the same, sort of. You can actually kind of tell the difference around the edge of the crystal. But mine is an aftermarket sapphire crystal. There's a very tiny bevel on the edge of my crystal that catches light. Right there. His kind of has that. A little bit. I think it's slightly more pronounced on mine. But yeah. So it has the same super slim case. The case back is in pretty decent shape. There's a few little scrapes on there, but not too bad. We have movado at the top and some information along the bottom there. Water resistance is called out. Oh, and look at that. It says it has a sapphire crystal. Oh, mine did not. Mine had a mineral crystal when I got mine, because there were little scratches all over in it, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't sapphire. We should check that. Alright, so my watch has a completely different case back. We have movado since 1881, all stainless steel, water resistant quartz, nothing about the crystal. So, interesting. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on these. Find out what the difference between mine and his is. The case design is identical, but his has a sapphire crystal and mine didn't. Time to do some digging. But yeah, these are quartz watches. They have very tiny crowns. However, you won't be using them a ton. But when you have to set the time, let's see what that's like. That feels pretty great. There's a proper amount of resistance. And these watches are super fun to set time on, as you can imagine. Definitely easier to wait till the top of the hour or on one of the even 15-minute marks. Yeah, and then we'll pop this back in. The gold tone definitely looks different. It's a whole different feel from mine. I'm not a huge black and gold fan for the most part, but this looks pretty cool. As for the specifications on this watch, the case size is 35 millimeters. The case height is only 5 millimeters. The lug to lug is 41 millimeters. The crystal, as we found out, is sapphire. And the movement inside this is some kind of quartz movement. I will also have to look that up. Alright, so let me take off my amazing looking Citizen watch. And we'll see if this strap will fit on my wrist. And here is my father-in-law's Movado Museum on my 7-inch wrist. It is a bit loose, but since the strap is stiff, it'll work fine for a wrist shot. I mean, that gold tone does look pretty good. I love how thin they are. And because they're so thin, I feel like that 35 millimeter size is great for these. And they show up on eBay quite a bit, so if you have gone little or you have smaller wrists, you do have options like these if you're a fan of the museum. Since the contemporary ones are all 40 millimeters or so, I think there are 38s out there, and I'm not sure what unisex or lady size ones, what dimensions those sell in. I would have to look. For smaller wrists, these are an option, and they do look pretty amazing. So now I'm curious about the little marks that are on the crystal. I may have to use some lens cleaner and really scrub that and see if they come off, because this is sapphire, so you'd have to kind of knock it, and yeah. I personally have never damaged a sapphire crystal. If any of you out there have, you may have to tell that horror story in the comments below. But pretty cool that this does ship on a sapphire crystal though. Sweet. Alright, I better find him a strap. So there you have it, my father-in-law's great looking Movado Museum watch. I have to say I like the silver cased one more, but this one looks pretty great too. Thanks for watching.